Todd is great and he is always baked. Morning sun shining, we can't be late. Coffee brewing, tunes on the go. Knock knock, it's the Todd Joe Morning Show.
Well, bitches, what up?
Dude,
Everybody,
like
what
that's
up?
just such an uplifting song.
It is. It's a great
Like,
way
it
to
just-
start the day and your show.
It's a great way to start the week for everybody. Like I just, it just makes me happy. I'm just like do 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 do. So what's going
All
on,
that.
Todd?
Oh, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of
How's
that.
your week been?
Oh, not too bad. Another week at the
Yeah.
old cannabis farm.
Well, I know last week everything was a bit of a.
Yes,
So I'm really hoping that this week it will be better for you.
it should be. You know, we're
Yeah.
getting close to the holidays. You know, Turkey Day coming up next week. Gobble gobble, motherfuckers, gobble gobble.
Papa Noel's gonna be coming after that.
Yep. So, you know, it's that time of the year where if you live in the Northeast, you're like, yeah, holidays. And then the holidays go away and you realize that you still have like 8 years of winter left. So I was talking to somebody yesterday about that. I was like, if it does feel like that, it's like you kind of don't care what the weather's going to do. If you get some snow, whatever. But like after like New Year's, it's just like, fuck.
And then like it hangs on sometimes. Like you'll get like 2 weeks of like
March.
Yeah.
March is that
And then
month
all
that
of a
goes
sudden-
forever.
Yeah, it really does. But
yeah.
before we get started, let's talk about a place that deals out dreams. Joe's Buds.
Mm-hmm.
Out there at 4656 Onondaga Boulevard, Syracuse, New York.
It's kind of tucked
Yo.
back. It's like behind a small restaurant next to a Wegmans. So
So just think like you get your buzz on and you have a plethora of eatery at your disposal. You can go
I don't know what the
Wegmans.
restaurant was, but it looked like one of those places that was small. People were eating outside and shit, but you just knew just by looking at it that they had really good food.
Oh,
You know, when you see those places, those smaller places, you just look at it and you're like, I bet
those
they
mom
got
and
some
pop cafe
bomb-ass
type
food.
places. Yeah.
But you know they're always busy and crowded, so you never want to stop there, but you just know that they got really good food. That's what this place looks like. So yeah, you could roll in the back, legally. Not like back in the day where you're like, yo, meet me out back behind this restaurant, yo, and we'll, you know, like now you can go do it on the up and up. Burn one in the parking lot and then just stroll on over to whatever restaurant that is. Or if you're on the go, hit Wegmans, but kind of like, you know, on corporations. So like support the local stuff, you know?
Yeah, but Wegmans it's like a playground for my taste buds.
I thought, never mind. Not even gonna.
But yeah, and if you want to visit them online, it's joesbudsny.com. You can see their whole menu of yummy treats. They have the edibles, they have the flour, they have the CBD. And remember to follow them on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. That's 4656 Onondaga Boulevard, Syracuse. And we decided we're going to bookend the show with Bangin Bangerz. And I got two that I know you know. So I'm curious to see how you feel. So I know you know the originals. Both.
Okay.
But we'll start off with this one. All right.
Are you ready? There's a place inside my mind, a place I like to hide.
I saw him like, are you ready? I'm trying to think where it's from. Then it
What
clicked
if
up.
I should die? A place inside my brain, another kind of pain. You don't know the chances. I'm so blind.
Oh my god. It's just it doesn't sound bad. Like, this is what blows my mind every time.
Another place I find to escape the pain inside.
Like, this sounds like it should be this type of song. Like,
What if I should die? A place inside my brain, another kind of pain. You don't know the chances. I'm so blind.
Like, this
Also,
is like that early 2000s, like, plays during the dramatic scene of like a teen soap opera show.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Deeper and deeper and deeper as
like
I
the stupid Time of Your
journey
Life
to
song.
live.
Right.
A life that seems to be a lost reality, that I could never find a way to reach my inner self-esteem is low. How deep can I go in the ground that I lay? If I don't find a way to sift through the gray that clouds my mind, this time I look to see what's between the lines. I can see, I'm going blind.
So
That is Bangin Bangerz.
Is that all the lyrics to that song? I've never realized like the lack of lyrics, if you will, like in that song. Like, I feel like it's a longer song than there are lyrics.
Well, yeah, I think that intro is like a minute and a half.
That's true.
To begin with. But like, and I noticed this with Korn. It's funny you say that. Like, especially like the first like two albums, there really is no like true song structure there. Like, it's not like opening, verse, bridge, chorus, like, no, it's like little weird intros sometimes, then you got like a quick verse, and then like a long bridge that's almost another verse, like we revisit it later, and
or you have songs like Twist that just aren't even words except for twist.
Right. Like, it's him growling.
Plus, like, I liked how they kept shit like kind of raw. Like that first album when they were screwing up on the one song over and over again, and they were like, you could hear him. He's like, I wish we could put Twist on the fucking album. He's like, do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear it? You know, so it's just like, so it's cool to also hear that shit where it's like, oh, so that song existed before Life is Peachy, you know, like, or a general idea of that song.
Right.
But yeah, no, and that was always funny, the controversy with like, not controversy, but always the stories of like the last song on that album, the first album, and what it was about, and the second album, what was that about? Was it really about that? Was it just stories made up? I mean, we all knew the Marilyn Manson, you know, took out a rib to do things kind of stories. So it's like, were those true stories, like, or was it just something, you know,
all
good
those
old
myths.
rumor mill before the internet?
Yeah, it was Reddit before Reddit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But do you know what's funny about that too? Is like, so you grew up in Oneonta. I grew up in Rome. We both heard that same rumor in high school.
Yeah.
Like, how does that travel?
Oh yeah, that's always wondered about shit. Just stoner thoughts. Like, how does that travel? How do sayings become sayings? Like, how does one thing all of a sudden everybody knows that it's a saying before viral shit? Like you said, back in the 90s where
it's different now because we're so interconnected, but like back then, like,
dude, you could fart the Star Wars theme song and people would know about it, like make it a video and people would know about it within like an hour. Like viral.
Wait, can you do that?
I mean, I wish. I think I'd be doing a lot more in life if I could play my ass musically. Music ass. But yeah, no, like 311, that was a big thing. Like, oh, it's the third fucking, the 11th letter of the alphabet's K. It's 3Ks. They must be part of the Ku Klux Klan. I'm like, yeah, those dudes singing like reggae and fucking ska and punk and dancehall are definitely Klansmen. Like, I can see them throwing on them hoods when they leave the fucking studio. Like, no, you dumb fucks. Like, Jesus Christ. It's a goddamn police code for indecent exposure because one of them got arrested for like being naked somewhere. Like, that's what it was. But yeah, everybody, because there's like their first video they did. They're like, oh yeah, people think your name's whatever. And Peanut's like, fuck the KKK. He was like, pieces of shit. But yeah, no, it was always funny, those stories that, like I said, the Marilyn Manson shit. Oh yeah, he had blah blah ribs removed because he could perform. Da, da, da. It's like, really? Like, but people believed it. People believed this shit.
And well, what was the other one with them? The dude from Wonder Years was the drummer.
No, he was Marilyn Manson. That was like the rumor I always heard was the kid from Wonder Years, the geeky one, the friend, was Marilyn Manson. Like,
it's wild.
It is.
So what do we got next, Todd?
So wild. We got Todd news. See, I had a whole like plan for shit, and I'm gonna get this stupid soundboard either figured out or I'll send it back and get a different one. Because I wanted to have like sound effects, like a news sound effect and shit, but no. Technology has to be like, fuck you, Todd. So yeah, Todd news. A couple of them are like world record ones that I didn't do on purpose. It just happened to be that way. This one has a picture to it. I'll share at the end. A Nigerian doctor with a passion for art broke a Guinness World Record with a 10,814.5 square foot drawing celebrating the cultures of his country. Fola David Tolaram, 31, created his drawing titled The Unity of Diversity using waterproof markers on a massive canvas on a 5,000 seat stadium over the course of several days. The new world's largest drawing by individual depicts a giant map of Nigeria bearing images of the various people and cultural iconography of the country's regions. The Nigerian country is a multicultural nation. I wanted to create something that speaks to that and give people an avenue to celebrate their cultures, David told Guinness World Records. Before embarking on this record drawing, I took a trip around my country to experience these different cultures personally. And it was this experience that I brought to the stadium to create this drawing. So I will now share the screen here so you can see this drawing. Screen share, window.
Okay.
There we go. Share. Full screen. Can't see it?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude.
So how big was it?
Over 10,000 square feet.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's some skill right there.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you have somebody like up in a helicopter? Like, okay, now go over here and start drawing this. Because like, how the hell can you look down and see that to be like, all right, so I've drawn part of this thumb. What else do I got to do? You know, like.
Right. Wow.
So.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually hear that a couple times a day. Here's another world record breaker, but this one is just, I don't know, kind of dumb in my opinion, but you know, stupid people do shit for world records. A Florida museum is seeking to gather science enthusiasts of all ages to set the Guinness World Record for the most people flying paper rockets simultaneously. The Orlando Science Center announced the attempt will take place Saturday at the facility's Dr. Phillips Syndrome, and officials are hoping to gather at least 250 participants to set the record. For the purposes of the record, a paper rocket is defined as a toy made entirely of paper that fits into a straw, and when the straw is blown through, the rocket flies into the air. Because how else would you fucking do it? The Science Center said in a news release. Members of the public. What's that?
I said, because I was going to ask what a paper rocket was.
Yeah. Members of the public hoping to participate in the record attempt are being encouraged to arrive around 10 a.m. Saturday, as seating is limited to 300 people, and registration will be on a first-come, first-served basis. An official Guinness World Records adjudicator, a judge, will be on hand to witness the attempt. At the Orlando Science Center, we focus on creating iconic experiences that ignite curiosity and a love for science. Joanne Newman, president and CEO of Orlando Science Center, said in a release, "We are excited to welcome the community to join us as we attempt to achieve this Guinness World Record title while also highlighting the STEM skills needed to achieve it. It's taking a fucking paper rocket and putting it on a straw and blowing through it. I don't know what kind of skills are truly needed to do that."
I mean, some people need those skills in their future.
It's true. This one I actually have, let's see here, a video for.
Ooh,
because it
I
was
like videos.
This one. So yeah, this one comes from us from Sweden. A moose wandered into a company's garage in Sweden and trampled all over 3 BMWs, causing about $20,000 worth of damage before fleeing. This dude, Victor, whose last name I can't even think about pronouncing, he is a BMW specialist. He was putting his boat into storage at the company's garage in the outskirts of Gothenburg when he heard loud noises. He investigated the commotion and discovered a moose, called an elk in Sweden, had wandered into the garage and was climbing all over a trio of parked BMW cars, including a restored BMW 850i. No humans or animals were injured during the moose's visit, and the massive beast fled the garage of its own accord, causing about $20,000 worth of damage. Again, I do have a video of this. So let's do this. Let's do a screen share and moose share.
What the is going on at Sweden? Are they performing an alternative BMW elk test? Do you remember the Mercedes-Benz A-Class elk test?
Yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Could you imagine that? Be like, hey, what's that noise? And that is in your garage, let alone destroying your fucking BMWs.
Like, that's a massive animal.
We talk around here about being like, oh man, I hit a fucking deer the other day and fucked up my car. Like, I don't even want to know what happens when you hit a moose. Like,
sometimes the moose survives. You're not surviving.
What's that? You kind of got all glitchy.
Well, I said sometimes the moose survives. The people never do.
Oh, well, that's terrible.
All right. I have a video I want you to watch.
Okay. Watch away. And then I have one more news thing.
And I want to remind you that this is a real thing. This isn't a sketch. This is a real thing.
Carol and Stephen's life together was perfect.
I've got to get going.
Right this second. Hey, baby.
Hey, sweetie. I love you.
There's one small problem.
I'm Ralph. I'm his brother. We're twins.
Are your parents?
Yeah.
It can tear them apart.
I think you gotta let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
We're not midgets, Carol.
Or bring them together.
Hey, welcome. I'm Steven.
Ah, there you are. This is Stephen's father, Bruno, and his mom, Kathleen. And over behind the bar is Stephen's brother, Paul.
Hi. You could have prepared us for this, don't you think?
If you embarrass me, I'll never speak to you again, so just get it together.
How's everybody drink?
When the going gets rough, it's only the size of your heart that counts.
It really be that big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf?
You knocked up this great girl, and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably gonna be lit. I'm not like you.
We are so cute and cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.
So these parties got a little wild. I never expected this. There's sure a lot of midgets around here.
You better back off, Goldie Hawn. My man can do what he wants to do.
I'm ready for an adult relationship.
What is this man doing in your bedroom?
A walk down the aisle
Steven's he's a very lucky guy. Just hope he's smart enough not to screw it up.
is just a beginning.
There'll be rough patches, there's no doubt about it.
Canal Plus and Langley Productions proudly present command performances from Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey, Patricia Arquette, and in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman. Tiptoes.
Is that new? Is it? I don't. What?
It was a real movie. That's
When
a
did that
real
come out?
movie that I'm guessing early 2000. I'll look. Hang on. And in the role of a lifetime.
Gary Oldman. What the fuck? Oy.
2003. That movie came out the year I graduated high school.
Oh man. I just don't even know. Like I just can't. I don't know. I'm gonna see if this thing is charged enough for me to use.
3 times.
What's that?
You gotta hit it 3 times.
Yes.
Todd, we're documenting Todd's first time using the.
And you said 420?
That's what I put mine on.
Why is there a coffee cup?
Because it's heating up. And then it'll vibrate again when it hits the 420. You gotta wait till it gets to 420. Oh yeah, so then yeah, you just rip it.
Tasty.
Well, it's crazy, right?
Tastes
like you can actually like taste the flour. It's wild. And like the smell dissipates within like a minute.
Like it. In the clock on there, is that just like how long it stays at that? Then it'll like turn off or some shit?
Yeah, it automatically shuts off.
Or if you want, you just hit the power button, turn it off yourself.
Yeah, just hit it 3 times again, and it'll turn off.
Nice. All right, it's the last one. It's not really.
We should clip this, and you should post that video as a review on like Amazon or whatever for them.
Yeah, I got off their site. So this isn't really odd news. It's just kind of something that I was like, oh yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to read about this too. The National Toy Hall of Fame in Rochester, which I don't think I knew it was in Rochester, so I think we should take a trip out there sometime.
Okay.
Announced this year's inductees: My Little Pony, Transformers, and the game Phase 10.
Wow.
The National Toy Hall of Fame, part of the Strong National Museum of Play, announced the inductees chosen from a list of finalists that also included Apples to Apples, Balloons, Choose Your Own Adventure books, which were the shit. You just went backwards if you died. Hess Toy Trucks, the Pokemon trading card game, remote controlled vehicles, Sequence, the Stick Horse, and the Trampoline.
Wow, I'm surprised Pokemon didn't get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
My Little Pony Transformers Fates 10 were chosen by a combination of players' choice ballots submitted by members of the public and the top picks of the National Selection Advisory Committee. Didn't know so many things were involved in putting toys into all of
choosing that.
These are 3 very deserving toys that showcase the wide range of how people play. Christopher Bench, Vice President for Collections and Chief Curator for The Strong, said in a new release. But for My Little Pony in particular, this year is extra validating. New Love Toy was a finalist 7 times before finally crossing the finish line.
That's awesome.
My Little Pony.
So we'll have to look what's in there.
There's a lot of shit in there, like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I remember that, But I probably heard it a million times. I just never remembered that it was in Rochester, and that's what, like 2 hours.
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, so it's not a bad little trip. But from that, oh god, I will stretch, and we'll go into odd news, and then we'll do some freestyle storytelling with Mr. Joe over there, who makes my pants tight.
So before we get into freestyle, I couldn't send it, so I'm just gonna play it. I want you to listen to this, and I want your opinion on this. Okay.
Okay.
Dinosaurs this entire time. They weren't those clumsy wrong about dinosaurs this entire time. They weren't those clumsy reptiles with cute little baby arms. No, they were something far more terrifying. They were dragons. And trust me, the evidence is way too crazy to ignore. The Chinese zodiac, right? It's made up of real animals. A pig, a dog, the tiger, the goat. They even got a rat in there. 11 real creatures. And then there's the dragon. Why would they throw in one mythical animal with 11 real ones? What if it's not mythical at all? Now, why do they show up in every single culture? From Europe to Asia, Africa to the Americas, every ancient civilization has stories of these fire-breathing beasts. Why would these cultures, separated by vast oceans, all end up with the same creatures in their myths? That would be very strange if they all came up with the same thing. It's because they weren't myths. They were real. Now here's where it starts to get wicked. Think about the T-Rex for a second. You know how it's always drawn with those teeny adorable meme arms? Yeah, we all had a good laugh. But what if we've been totally wrong? What if those arms were never arms at all? Picture an ostrich skeleton, small arms, but with wings. The T-Rex. Those arms were wings, man. Massive, terrifying wings it once had in its glory. Don't believe me yet. Here's something wild. In the 1946 dictionary, you can actually find listed under the entry dragon, now rare. That's right, rare, not extinct. The term dinosaur, that wasn't even a thing until 1841. Before that, for most of human history, we called them what they really were. Dragons, the legends, the stories. Our ancestors weren't making things up. They were documenting history. And here's something else to chew on. Ancient recipes, dating back centuries, call for dragon blood, dragon bones, even dragon saliva. Not just a one-off mention, but many of them. Why would they list ingredients for a creature that never existed? How would you feel if you were baking a cake and then the recipe called for leprechaun hairs? So next time you see a T-Rex skeleton at a museum, don't think of it as just a dinosaur. Think about the wings it once had that tore through the skies. I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes. What if I told you?
Yo, but think about that.
That'd be weird. I mean, that's how I've always, not thought that they were dragons, but you always wonder shit. It's like, well, this is what the dinosaur looked like, and this is what it sounded like, and da-da-da-da. And it's like, how the fuck you know? You weren't there. There wasn't audio or video recordings of it. You're just taking an educated guess, educated or not, it's still a guess,
well,
on what you thought it was.
They're starting to say that dinosaurs were feathered now.
Right, but that's just been in the past, 10 years-ish, you know what I mean?
So, what if dragons weren't these big scaly things, but these big giant feathery things? I just was like, oh man, I never, how it's just because we're so trained to think something that, like, yeah, obviously dinosaurs were dragons. Duh.
And it's not like there wasn't flying dinosaurs, you know what I mean? So it's not like it would
Right.
be like an absurd thought, you know, because there was, you know, obviously there's only one type, but in the realm of dinosaur, you know what I mean? So it's like, so they still
Right.
even had one that flew at one point in time. So, oh, Joe, thanks for that. Let's do some Urban
I thought it was
Dictionary
cool.
now that my brain is like, "Meh." Urban Dictionary, then freestyling with Joe. We don't know what this one's going to be like. Never know. Taste maker. A person whose judgments about what is good, fashionable, etc. are accepted and followed by many other people, i.e., an asshole.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
How many assholes do we got on this ship? The next one is Hesher, which I think there used to be a band. I think I saw them open up for the Cottonmouth Kings back in the day, but regardless. Hesher can be generally described as a grungy, long-haired person with a still stuck in the 80s image, usually seen wearing leather motorcycle or denim jacket, full-on band patches, torn acid wash jeans, and an 80s rock t-shirt.
Wow.
Likes to listen to some heavy metal tunes while riding in an old school van, characterized by outlaw attitude, probably drinks alcohol and smokes weed. Similar in appearance to a thrasher.
Oh.
Yeah. This next one is Sweetie Wife. It's a Scottish word. Probably not said like I said it, but whatever. Sweetie Wife. A purveyor of gossip. A man who likes to gossip. A man who is in the affairs of women.
Wow.
This next one is Screaming Barfies. I added to this a little bit. A term used mostly by ice climbers and people that live in the Northeast during the winter to describe the feeling of having your hands go numb, only to come back to feeling with extreme pain. The terminology coming from when your hands are coming back to feeling you want to scream and barf at the same time. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate that feeling.
No, it's terrible. Because then, like, logically, you're like, well, if I run my hands under, like, warm water, it'll help. And it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It hurts so good.
It makes it worse. All right. This next thing I've never said to any of my friends while gaming, so I don't know. Like, it's just weird. It's posture check. Something you say to your buddies while gaming to make sure they aren't slouching.
What?
Most of the time, my friends, because I'll fall asleep while playing a game, will just be like, hey, you still there? But nobody's like, oh, hey, man, make sure you're sitting up straight. Like,
yeah.
Not happening. And then the last one for today is the ass out hug. That's right. When you're on a date out with someone and you don't want to get too close, so you hug with your ass out or far apart away from the other person. I think I've probably done that before. You just like, give like a little like.
You don't like you don't want to be too intimate. Well, yeah, no, I think we've all done it.
Yeah. Amazon is backing up outside, and they have the weirdest fucking backup sound ever.
Oh.
It sounds like a cat getting run over and over again. It's like, meh, meh. It's terrible. It's terrible, Joe. It is terrible. So today, let's see here. I got to, what I was going to say. Dangerous. Okay. So, we're going to do some freestyling with Mr.
Freestyle storytelling.
I'm typing in. So last week, I have a random thingamabob that produces a random scenario. And I have now also been giving a phrase and a couple other things for Joe. So in the chat, I am typing out the phrase that he has to use, which is, I should say I run with scissors, but I ran with scissors. It makes me feel dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw out the color brown.
Okay.
And a 1957 Buick.
Okay. So where we left off last week, George and Sally work together at the Red, White, and Blues Cosmetic Company. George owns the company. Sally is the head of sales. They are at a sales conference in Canada, and George finds out that her new boyfriend Omar is coming to stay. Well, George drank a little too much, fell, got wedged in the toilet. Omar came to help him, got unstuck, and at the end of the day, George is stuck underneath Omar with a broken ankle. Omar is unconscious. Sally is unconscious in the hallway, and a little old Russian lady named Olga has come to save the day. Screen goes black, and then you see something that says 6 months later. 6 months later, you see the front of a house. Not anything big, just, a nice size house. And then the door opens up. Your man, Omar, is coming out. And it looks like he's going to get the paper off the front stoop. He picks it up. He opens it up. Now, Omar he's a big boy. He's all muscle. No shirt on. He's got like pajama pants on. He opens up the paper. He looks around. You see an arm grab him by the waist, coming from behind. Omar looks down, goes down for a kiss, and little Miss Olga kisses Omar back. She says to Omar, "Well, there, you big stud. Why don't we go back inside and you give me some more of that brown oatmeal pie?" Omar goes, "All right, Mama Olga, you get that ass inside, girl. I'll be right in." Olga goes inside, and as she walks, she turns and looks at Omar. She opens her robe. Omar goes, "Oh, baby, you dangerous." And Olga says to Omar, "I run with scissors. It makes me feel dangerous." Olga goes back into the bedroom. Down the stairs, Sally comes. Omar looks at Sally and goes, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" Sally like, "Oh, Omar, you were, amazing last night." Omar goes, "Oh, I know, girl." She goes, "Oh, Omar, you split my garage up with your 1957 Buick. Oh, wait." He laughs and he just, Sally. Sally, won't you turn around and go meet Olga in that bedroom, and I go take care of both you girls in a minute. Sally looks at Omar and goes, "Yes, Daddy." Ooh. And then Sally goes and trots her ass into the bedroom. Omar closes the door, walks into the bedroom, and in the bed, you have Miss Olga laying across, showing you everything she brought from Mother Russia. And Sally next to him, stroking the front of Miss Olga very sensually. Omar walks into the room. He looks up at the wall, and on the wall, there's a head mounted there. And the head looks down at Omar and goes, "Dude, Omar, what are you doing? Don't do this." "Shut up, George. I'm going to do what I want." And then George opens his eyes. He's in the back of an ambulance. Woo, 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 woo. Looks over and sees a paramedic. A nice, pretty girl. Brown hair, soft features, killer blue eyes. And her name is... We'll leave it off there.
Love it. Love
Got
it.
a little, well, it went a little weird, didn't it?
Risque.
A little risque. Mama Olga. Ooh, wee.
Mama Olga. I love it.
What we got next?
We got some Carlin quotes to wrap it up before we hit up our last. What'd you call it now?
Bangin Bangerz.
Yeah. So just a few here. We were doing like 3 or 4. This one's like 5, but they're funny, make you think. They're Carlin quotes. Don't just teach your child to read. Teach them to question what they read. Teach them to question everything.
I like that one.
If 4 out of people suffer from diarrhea, does that mean that 1 enjoys it?
It's a good one.
If the black box flight recorder is never damaged during a plane crash, why isn't the whole airplane made out of that stuff?
Also true.
People always tell me, have a nice day. Well, what if I don't want to? What if I want to have a crappy day? And the last one, I have lots of ideas. Trouble is, most of them suck. So George Carlin, everybody.
That's a good one too.
All right then. Let's do this then.
All right. The final banging banger of the day. What we got there.
What will you do when you get lonely and nobody's waiting by your side? You've been running and hiding much too long. You know it's just your foolish pride. Layla, got me on my knees. Layla, I'm begging, darling, please. Layla, darling, won't you ease my worried mind? I tried to give you consolation when your old man had let you down. Like a fool, I fell in love with you. You turned my whole world upside down. Layla, got me on my knees. Layla, I'm begging, darling, please. Layla, darling, won't you ease my worried mind? Let's make the best of the situation before I finally go insane. Please don't say we'll never find a way and tell me all my love's in vain.
No.
Hmm? Oh,
well then.
I must have. All right. I was jamming out.
I was too, but that's okay.
Now, if you had never heard the Clapton version and you heard that version first, you like that really sounds like that would be the real version. Like, it's crazy to me.
That's what I mean. Like all this stuff, it's like everything you've played. It's like it hasn't sounded bad. Like it sounds like it should fit in like the genre that it got changed to, like, or it fits in it. So it's just it's
So
weird.
here's my question about that. So does that mean like the songwriters are like the true geniuses if they're able to craft a song that can be just translated into any genre, switched up any which way, and work. Because it's not like the AI is going and finding the original version and seeing like what the pattern and everything is. Like you could, like with the Korn song, you could kind of see where like the AI didn't know what to do with some of the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, so like I feel so like the Clapton song. Clapton is known as like one of the best fucking songwriters. Like, and how it so easily just translated over. I don't know. I think that's such a testament to people who are able to write songs well. Like
oh yeah, yeah. That's yes. It's insane when That's why I sometimes I like hearing, you know, stuff get covered by different bands, even if it like still sounds like it, whatever, but not like fucking Real Big Fish is a great one, to be honest with you, because they take a lot of stuff that is not ska, that was never related to ska, and you know, Hungry Like the Wolf, Take on Me, fucking Kiss Me Once. Like, there's so many songs and covers they've done that's just like they made them sound great.
Well, that's why I always liked like the Pop Goes Punk albums, the Punk Goes 90s albums. Like I always love those like compilation CDs where you're having one artist. Like there's the Punk Goes hip hop like albums. Like that compilation's dope as shit, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, like those, and that's the thing, no offense. Well, there's a whole fucking punk cover, you know, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. You know, that's all they do is just fucking covers of everything. But yeah, no, all those sound great. I love it. I love that segment. I love all our segments. Yeah. But I enjoy that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's true. It's damn true.
All right. So if you have the need to smoke some weed, once again, go to Joe's Buds on Onondaga Boulevard, Syracuse. Mondays, you're going to be watching us, whether it be on YouTube or if you just want to put our little audio wieners in your ear vaginas and let them copulate, we're on Spotify. Tuesdays.
I've been listening to just listen how awesome we are.
Dude, I do too. Like, I consume most of my podcast stuff via audio. So, like, it's something I think is awesome. If we ever get enough time or a way to figure out how to, like, do all of them and put, like, the different ones on there, like, that'd be cool. Tuesdays, 8 p.m.-ish live, Wrestle Fandom Radio with Stones, Joe Stones, Captain Cannabis over there, Garrett, and Drew. We talk about wrestling. That's Garrett right there. And things usually get a little wild. Every now and then I have an episode of... Oh, shit. Right,
why are you making device configuration changes, Joe?
I didn't, though. My phone hit the thing.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, let me just boop. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just can't see you. There you are.
All right. We're good. And then I believe this weekend, the girls are going to record their first few episodes of the Not So Final Girls horror podcast. What the deuce?
Stop doing your shit, man. What are you doing over there?
I'm not doing anything. Can you? All right. Are we good now?
No, we are. Yes.
Okay. And then, you know, we got some other shows, some ideas in the barrel. If you guys want to hear anything from us, or even if all 5 of you listeners want your own show, to just get more ears out there, we'll do that too. But like to end it the way we started, a little knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Later, Gators.
It's not your creepy neighbor.
Bye, nerd.